talk here about the fourth commandment. Uh, I catch myself. I've seen myself argue, or not argue, but have a. No, it turns into argument. It's kind of like when you discuss the Sabbath day, what happens to Jesus on the Sabbath day happens in your life. It's like, hey, I never said Jesus was wrong about anything here. I'm not discrediting that. I'm glad that he healed on the Sabbath day and converted on the Sabbath day and did God's will on the Sabbath day. I'm glad for that and I'm happy for that. But he did it on the Sabbath day. What is the Sabbath day? You know what I'm saying? See, here's the thing. I hear people say, oh, it's whatever day you want it to be. You just pick a day out of the week and that's that's your particular thing. I mean, but that's basically, it's like it's like that. In order to agree with that in a way, it's like that's basically what the Vatican did. They just chose. They didn't just choose. It's like they changed the Sabbath day to the Sunday, which is this sun worship Mithraism, which basically Apollyon, the Apollo, the sun god, right? So that's the angel of the bottomless pit, and it's also in the time of Greece, it's who their prophets prophesy by is this Apollyon character with the Python spirit. You got the sun dragon cult, the sun snake cult. Same thing, and they all did their things on Sunday. And so, for one, just to start, if the Sabbath is a particular day, but then I hear this argument, well, they done changed the times and the days of the week anyway, so there's no way you could keep it anyway. I mean, or Jesus came and just let's move on to the next subject, basically. But I don't know if it is it. I don't feel that it's done away with because it's in the Ten Commandments myself personally. But I just find that it's hard to keep because no one follows it. No one has ever taught mainstream people to even what that even means. I mean, so where do you start? That's the thing. It's how do you fellowship with someone when no one even knows that there is such a thing in a way. I mean, that's the thing. It's and it's so simple. It's right in the Ten Commandments, man. It's the fourth commandment, and it's overlooked and downplayed because I've also heard this: people who are in agreement with Sunday Sabbath, basically, in a way, since their God is Rome. It's the traditions of men over the traditions of God. So, in a way, if you say it doesn't matter at all, and you profess to believe that, I'm just saying that looks kind of weird. Like you don't know your shizzle, man. Like it to me, and I admit I don't know my shizzle because look, I've never been taught. I've been deceived, and I question mankind and the validity of history. That I question: is this day even today? Is today even today, or do I just believe it is? Because it's actually they waited 2 days and like set back the clock. And like, and society mutually agreed to abide in that time that they like. Basically, it's a mutual agreement on this is the day and the year and the time. I mean, think about it. Once again, this is your consent. This system operates off our consent. How in the F do we know if 300 years ago they didn't straight up rewrite the calendars, genocide everyone else, and teach the kids a lie? I mean, that's the way these things could work. And that's the way they have worked, because that's how come people don't realize that this whole Sunday law of Rome is, I've heard people acclaim that is the mark of the beast. It's like, because some say it's your thoughts and your actions that's the mark of the beast. Or what's the mark of God is your thoughts and your actions and your conduct and where your beliefs are in your heart, basically, that other people can't really see. Only it's between you and your creator, basically. I don't know, man, but the stuff is I don't want to be overly legalistic about it neither. but it's just, it seems to me like it's a relevant topic. It's like, shouldn't, if we were doing wrong there, wouldn't it be better if we repented of that? Which means we don't have to get all overly emotional and wail and lament. We can just change it and be like, oh, my bad, I didn't know any better. I didn't even know. But how great it is now to be aware and be able to make a decision and change it in a way. And I don't know, man. It's like I remember in Jeremiah it says, man, it's like your sins have withholden many good things from you. In a way, it's like that's that sums up, man, like why the world is the way it is. It's because the unaccountability, unwillingness to even acknowledge something small as that. Like, look, yeah, I haven't done that, and I'd never even known how. And now that I look, I try to find it, but look, something just don't fit. Like the gears in this clock are all off, man, and I just can't get it calibrated right because I don't have the right reference point. It's like I'm missing one gear that will make this thing actually work right. But at the moment, I'm still trying to figure out and reverse engineer this thing from the best of the directions that I have at the moment. You know what I mean? Same thing with this, man. Like, this just something it'd be nice to see this clarified, and I think we will too, with this whole one world religion and the Vatican taking over the planet. I think it will reveal itself through that. Like, whatever they say is the opposite of what we should be doing. I mean, because to be friends of the world is what? Enmity with God. So just a world religion that is just all inclusive and all accepting is exactly that. It's friendship with the world. And if you know the world, they don't really want to be friends. It's like they want to be frenemies. They want to be close enough to keep a good eye on you. You know what I'm saying? And it's basically how the world operates. Same thing. It was like, I remember in Maccabees too, it was like Rome used to come to people, nations. They'd be like, we want to be friends. That's what they were saying. That's the same thing with the freaking mafia. We want to be partners. We want to be partners in your venture. Give you the nod. Yep. Same thing, man. But then you get pimped in the end. Same thing. It's freaking crazy. So same thing. Like, you make an agreement with the one world religion, you're gonna get pimped in the end. Because hey, you can follow Rome and the Vatican and the Catholics all the way back, and they've been pimping people the whole time, the whole way. I mean, that is the mafia. Like in the mafia, when you see the former boss whack the last boss, this is the type of people who that's how that organization was founded, and I'm sure there's still a lot of that funky business going on today. But what day is the Sabbath, really? And is the fourth commandment still a valid commandment, or is it done away with, or is it revamped, or you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I haven't really seen. I mean, I pretty much have drawn my own conclusions, but I'm just representing the question and voicing it out on the video, as well as just looking at it myself, because it's hard to clarify. You know what I'm saying, at this moment in time, because all I've ever known and seen is a lot of people have the churchianity curse. See, the churchianity curse is like you're real close to having the knowledge you need, but there's just something they left out that really puts you at a severe disadvantage. And it's like the minute that it's like you're almost on the verge of just being freaking smashed, and it's the people set you there. It's like a stumbling block. You know what I'm saying? It's like someone somewhere down the line set that there, and it's like for some reason the people who find out turn complacent for maybe bribes or whatever reason, and then everyone else is just unprivy. You know what I'm saying? And then the few that do speak out are ridiculed and somehow discredited through some other kind of smear. You know what I'm saying? But it's same thing with this right here, man. It's like that whole Sunday law. Like literally, people probably died over this and I'm sure they have. They have died over even pondering this question. Uh, and sometimes I take that lightly, and I forget that people had to die that I can even read a Bible, a King James version, and how lucky am I if I didn't get the chance with this internet to have all this access to information. It's still, I know it's contained in there, and it doesn't necessarily lead you astray, but there's more to it, man. I mean, there's more information that you should have available to you, like the information about spirits, angels, stuff like that, and clarifications, man. Like I think one of the parts of the mission of the before the second coming is that the restoration is supposed to come, where supposedly the two witnesses are going to come and kind of like we're gonna have a new Ten Commandments moment where like things are gonna be reiterated and reestablished, reinforced, re-examined, and people are gonna be able to learn again. It's like that missing piece. It's kind of like in Daniel, it says, "For the book is sealed, and it's not for you." Same thing in Enoch. This book was not written for this generation, but for a far-off, remote generation, the generation of the Great Tribulation. That's how it starts. So in a way, it's like, these are like John Connor type. The prophets were like John Connors of the past. And they're like, look, there's going to come a day where the Terminators are going to come, and they're going to put their mark on you. And there's going to be a world global Skynet matrix system. And if you don't swear your loyalty and your servitude and your soul to it, they're going to kill you. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to think that they're doing God a service. It's, I mean, in a way, I mean, that not really. I mean, but in a way, that's not far off from the freaking truth, man. We're going to have freaking Terminators and the Locust Army, the Horseman Army, all these things, the four horsemen of the apocalypse. I mean, it does sound, the beast system, this shit sounds very mechanical, even though it's described as an animal, because it's also the book of Daniel. There's the bear with that devours much flesh, with the teeth of iron, and the leopard, and then the something else, the beast with the horns and all this. It's this imagery of this beast, but it's more like a mechanical, even though it's described as an animal, it sounds to me. And Rome definitely is the kingdom of Igran. That's when Rome took over the whole world, when they had their legion armies out wreaking havoc on the planet. That was the Iron. And so look, that church comes from that land. So I mean, look, dude, it is one of the beast kingdoms, and it's you can look at it and its schematic, its layout, its model, and you can apply it. Anything that falls or is derived from it, therefore, is its like child or something.